Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back to Tomboy Official. Here on this podcast, we talk about gender and sexuality and LGBTQ plus topics for the most part. I've got another episode of My Queer Dreams. I just need to find it because I saved it because I wrote it down. So I'm getting into where it's written. Okay, so this one is from Sunday, October 22nd. Sunday, October 9th, 2022. I don't know what. It's late for me, guys. I don't know. Maybe it's not late. I had a weird day. Whatever. Not bad. Just, I mostly hung around the house, but it was a weird day. Just overall, like, everything's kind of off today. Like, I don't know, whatever. Okay, so it's called My Queer Dreams, The Stroll. So just some backstory. So this morning, I woke up before 7 a.m. Woke up kind of near whenever the sunrise was, like 6:20 something like that. But I feel like I'd been up for a while whenever the light started coming out before then. So, because I finally checked the clock and the sunrise time, and that was after I'd already been awake for a while. And I was like, wow, like that's the sunrise time. Like I've been up for a while and the sun's like barely considered coming up. Like that was kind of what I was thinking this morning. And then I had breakfast, a couple boiled eggs, half an avocado, a small tomato, and a banana around like 8:30 a.m. Maybe about 50 milligrams of C4 pre-workout. I did some yoga for about an hour and 15 minutes, did laundry, and I hang my laundry out to dry. So I hung it out to dry eventually because I forgot I was doing laundry. So I took it out of the washer when it was done, put it out to dry around noon or so because that's when I had ordered some food from H Mart, some groceries. So when they got delivered around like 1:30, I made this like Ichiban miso ramen. It was like 490 calories, and then about 190 calories having these 3 Korean dumplings that were like pork and glass noodle dumplings. I had some kimchi, seaweed, and some spicy stewed fish cakes. And then I was still kind of hungry. I think I had the munchies in all honesty, but I had, let me see, 330 calorie perfect bar. It was like the peanut and chocolate chip one. And I had a very small like microdose of a hybrid edible, and that was about 11 a.m. But I was vaping an indica concentrate as well, but not all day, just like a little bit. So I wasn't sure why I was that tired, but I think just all that food, because I didn't eat a heavy breakfast, and then I ate all that food at once. And then I just crashed out while I was watching this show. This kind of like documentary style, like history type show on YouTube about some puzzling, I think it was called Puzzling Underwater Ruins, something like that. They were talking about possibly Atlantis, and like, you know, that kind of thing. And before that, I'd been watching some like alien videos and stuff like that. So then I just, like, during that Atlantis thing, I started falling asleep, right? So I was like at first I thought I was just gonna doze a little bit, and then I was like, nah, I'm just gonna like take a freaking nap. Guys, I slept for like 2 or 3 hours because I was getting up around like 2, and I ate around 1:30, but I think I spent maybe like an hour like probably like browsing around on YouTube. So I don't know at all, but I slept like 2 or 3 hours. So of course I was groggy. So basically I was walking somewhere. So this is the dream. I was walking somewhere and passed by a Caucasian, kind of slim, tall woman. We both kind of said hi in passing. And she was on her phone, and I overheard her mention that she wasn't sure if someone was a male or a female. And I think the location was near Balboa Park, like, you know, where there's that bridge, if you know the area. Like across the bridge, I was walking across the bridge. That's where we were walking, where we passed each other. But I knew I was in LA, so it was kind of like, okay, but that's in San Diego. But that's the place where I think we were walking and passing. And then she kind of came back, like, and started talking to me. I don't know what about, but I was just out for a stroll. So I stopped to chat with her because, like, I wasn't really, like, on my way anywhere in this dream. And we weren't on the bridge when we started talking. We were in an outside space where there were tables and concrete, and it was daylight, like in the afternoon sometime, maybe late morning. She started wanting to talk, and I realized she maybe wanted to sit and talk. And so, but she wasn't annoying, and I think she approached me for the way that I was dressed. Like, I don't remember exactly what I was wearing, but I think in the dream I had like a cap on, and I don't remember what else I was wearing, but I think she was like interested. Like, I got the idea that, like, oh, she's talking to me because she is interested in me, kind of thing. And then she made a comment about, you know, no one seeming interested in her, and I was kind of wondering, like, like, I don't really know this person, so, like, maybe there's, like, a real good reason why people aren't into her. Like, I don't know, like, I just met her, like, walking, like, she mentioned she had been in the military, and I wondered what she was doing, being local, being like I kind of wondered what she was doing. I was glad that I was in LA, and we didn't exchange numbers fully at that point. There was some guy, and I'm not sure if he knew her, or if he had been walking with her, or if he had been at the tables, or if we came over to the tables and sat next to him, or what. But eventually he just, like, kind of appeared. He was a Caucasian guy, brown hair. He started talking some. I don't really remember exactly what we were talking about. Like, I wrote somewhat about, like, spirituality, aliens, and queer dating. I don't really, like, when I'm thinking of it now, when I'm reading this back, I don't remember that specifically. So maybe I remembered that then, but I don't remember it at all right now. She mentioned she liked how I am. The guy, at a point when she wasn't paying too much attention, he told me that he was glad that she and I met because I was nice to her, and he liked me for her, kind of thing. Like, he would want us to be together, kind of thing. And So in the dream, one of my friends came, one of my real life friends came. There was, so basically we were sitting in this area that was like had little outdoor table seating, but it no longer was looking like Balboa Park once we were sitting there and we had started talking and that guy was there and stuff. It was more so like by the beach areas, how you're kind of like sitting outside, like, you know how they have those little boardwalk little areas with like, it's almost like kind of like Belmont Park, how it's like there's little places where you can eat, but there's little like tables around so you can like sit down kind of near where you bought your food. But there wasn't like the little like carnival type games and stuff like that. There was none of that. But it was kind of an area like that, and I knew we were in the dream like in LA at this point. Even though the other part looked like a bridge at Balboa Park, this part looked like a beach. But we weren't like at the beach. We were at like the little tables, like that would have been like part of the beach property, but like we were at the little table areas. So there was like some kind of little food place behind us. So there was like a little small window where people could come up to the window and order their food. And so yeah, it was kind of behind where I was sitting. A small line was forming and people were kind of ordering at the window, but I don't know what kind of food or what it was. So that real life friend, when she came up near me, she started asking if the lady I was speaking to was so-and-so, like a person who in real life was a lady that I was kind of going on some dates with at some point. And I told her no and kind of shoo her away, kind of hoping that she wouldn't make a scene because this friend in real life is kind of, she kind of draws attention to herself. So I was like, I didn't want this lady I was talking to kind of know that like who this person was or anything. And that friend seemed to kind of just get in line and like be in the line, and like I don't remember talking to her after that. And so this is kind of like a little part that I remember that I wrote in, like that happened before the dream, but it's connected to the next section. So basically, like, well, not before the dream, like it was at the very start of the dream. So the dream actually started out with me, with me and my sister. So sometime before the part of the dream where I was out at that bridge walking and saw that lady, in the dream I was with my sister and we were making some instant noodles, and my sister had a rat in hers. Like, when you have like those little instant noodle packets and you open them, like for some reason hers had like a full like rat in it. And we had ordered this food to deliver to us from Instacart from Zion Market, and we were confused at why that animal was in there, and we were incredibly grossed out. So that portion of the dream, that thing that had happened earlier, I remember part of the conversation was I had mentioned kind of that experience to her, and I was kind of like, that was weird. So the lady told me while we were still sitting at those tables at that little food stand type place at the beach, the lady told me that we were nearby her spot, and in the dream at that part we were nearby the beach, and she invited me to sleep over, saying we could share her bed for the night, and I told her I could stay until she fell asleep or just lounge around other parts of the house or hang out or just but I just didn't want to fully sleep over, like actually fall asleep and like stay there overnight. Even if we were like staying up all night, I would have been down to just like stay up all night, but I didn't really want to fully sleep there. And I planned to actually leave and go home and sleep at my own place whenever we were done at her place. We kept talking, and the interaction and conversation were enjoyable. And I figured I'd ask for her contact later when we saw each other at her house to like stay in touch. But that's basically why I didn't want to stay over at her house, because I wasn't sure if it was just like a one-time quick like, oh, we're just meeting, because we did meet so randomly, just like walking. And this actually felt like real life, which was so weird. Like, it was like, other than the weird thing with the rat being in the noodles, like, I don't think there was anything that was like too out of, like, this is definitely kind of out of the normal, but it wasn't like some weird like fantastical like flying around and doing all that kind of stuff. Like, most of it was realistic, other than, you know, somebody just randomly talking. But yeah, it was an interesting dream. But yeah, I remember thinking like, I don't really know her intentions. I don't know if she's really gonna have the intentions for me to like stay in touch, because I was like, well, I'm not just trying to like hang out with somebody and like have some like involved experience. I don't even know if it would have turned into something sexual or not, but like, you don't really know. I mean, I don't know if you say like in real life or not in real life. Like, I don't really know. I didn't really know her intentions. She seemed like very friendly, and that's not usually how my life goes. I'm not usually having people always approaching me in the middle of nowhere like that. But a little bit at clubs and stuff, I'd say like that happens like on occasion, like a little bit. But I otherwise wasn't really too interested in staying over there. And I do remember thinking like, exactly, because like, okay, what if I stay over and then she just doesn't want to talk to me anymore? And we were having like a good enough conversation that I was like cool to stay, and like her friend was cool. And it's interesting too, like in real life, that friend that came up in the dream that was like, is this so and so, who I told her that I'd been going out on dates with. In real life, I've never told her that. And so yeah, in real life I never really told her that, but I don't really know, like, but yeah, like it wasn't like that, like, I don't know, like it was a random Sunday late afternoon, long, just like crashed out nap. That was one part that made it weird. And then another thing, it's kind of interesting and funny that it was you know, the instant noodles, and the, you know, that I had actually had instant noodles that day, and then like right before that, and like that kind of thing, like the Instacart food delivery kind of thing. And yeah, it was just an interesting dream. I didn't find it like too super excitable, but like right when I woke up, I was like, oh, I gotta write this down. And it probably took me about 20 or so minutes to write all this down. So yeah, I found it just interesting, like that I was able to have, you know, like, you know, you guys know on here that I definitely have dreams with queer content to them. So like whenever I remember one, I'm trying to like record it, because they're kind of interesting. I mean, I don't know, this one wasn't like, nothing really happened, but it's like, yeah, like there was some pre-dating type of thing happening in this dream. Like, I don't really think I have a lot of dreams where there's like guys in them that are like approaching or that I'm approaching or anything, like, which is kind of interesting. It's usually women in them, at least from the ones I've recorded, right? Like, if you guys have heard the other ones, I don't really think there have been a lot of them with like guys where anything was kind of going on, really. Maybe but I don't know. I'd have to go back through them and see if I even like remember if there's even anything like I recorded, because I don't remember anything like that like off the top of my head. So yeah, but okay, so with that, I'm kind of done with this recording, and thanks for listening.